Hello, and welcome once again to the Varlastan Circle, a D&D 5e adventure in a homebrew setting brought to you by Penance RPG, an actual play podcast and Twitch variety stream. You can find out more about Penance RPG at penancerpg.com or in the stream information below. I'm Lunrwolf, an occasional variety streamer and creator of the Varlastan setting. I'll be guiding our cast through the trials that await them this evening. And to introduce our cast, starting with Harry A.
Hello, I am Dragon. I am playing Aria, who is a Aasimar ranger. She is. I'm not sure what she would be thinking or feeling at this point, given how we left off last time. She's not particularly traumatized by the underground rave, sex club place. She's just very concerned that the circle brought them to Sparris and maybe getting away from them as soon as possible would be useful.
We'll see what happens. Silic.
Hello, I'm Eden. My character is Silic. He's a Tortle Paladin. And I think the sights and sounds in particular of the big city have certainly captured him to some extent. But let's see where we head off from here, I suppose.
Okay, and Jack.
Hi, I'm Amy. I played Jack, our happy-go-lucky rock gnome. Jack didn't really enjoy the club at all. They like quiet spaces and dark spaces, but not crowded with people. But yeah, he's quite happy that he's back with all his friends.
And last but by no means least, Malixire.
Hey, I'm Coakley, and I'm playing Malixire, the Tiefling Divine Soul Sorcerer. And I have a killer hangover. That's probably the most important thing that I'll be dealing with for the start of this episode. We'll see how things go.
That sounds about right. And with everybody's captions hastily updated. Apparently the only person who forgot to do all of the leveling up jobs was me. Oops. So, most of you have had a quiet night's sleep and feel much better for it. Malixire feels somewhat rough around the edges. But you wake up, there's nothing that interrupts you overnight apart from Malixire's eventual return. And you can smell breakfast. What do you want to do?
I mean, we are in a dwarf tavern, so breakfast should be good.
Yes, let's get to bed.
It might help mop up any leftover alcohol in Malixire's system.
I think my ears are still ringing.
I can still feel the rhythm. And Silic starts tapping his toes and kind of nodding his head to what he can remember.
A fantastic visual. This giant turtle, just like,
Yep, feeling the groove.
Okay.
Well, let's get some breakfast then. Let's get fed and then see what the day has got in store for us.
Yes, good plan.
Okay. Downstairs, there's a few fairly busy tables. There is certainly enough space for you to get sat and get some breakfast into you. No issue at all with that. Around you, there's just a bit of a hubbub of folk getting ready to go about their day. You don't casually notice anything interesting, particularly about anybody going on around you.
Jack's making sandwiches as usual for later.
Bacon in one hand, bread in the other.
Cheese.
as everyone finishes their breakfast, Malixar finally rolls in, slumps himself down onto a chair, then orders the traditional dwarven hangover here, a mountain oyster. It's just a shot of whiskey with a raw egg in it. Like, it's...
You get along well with dwarves, don't you, Mal?
most of the time.
Does that work, drinking that? You look worse for wear. Are you sure that's going to work?
You know what? A block of cheese.
I mean, you know, the dwarf seemed to swear by it, so give it a go, and swigs it down the hatch and sets into whatever fried bread they've got.
I mean, it probably won't make him feel any worse.
I can only hope. And Silik's going to eye him nervously, ready to move if he suddenly kind of blanches and
We'll
heaves.
just keep an eye on him. We'll just keep
It's a
an
good
eye on
plan.
him. Make sure he doesn't fall behind.
Hmm.
I'll be fine. Just a bit tired.
Just
So
a
I'm
second.
thinking that does anyone want to stay in Sperris for very long?
Don't really like it, if I'm honest. It's too big.
We do have our mission, after all. There's not really any reason to be dawdling, and as much as we've helped people in previous places, if we start here, we'll never get out.
I have to agree with that, but also
Yeah.
I'd feel a little safer being further away from checks for people listening, being further away from the inner circle.
Yeah. Let's just go about our business as normal and move on.
Okay. We
No
should
sense
find
in-
out where we want to go from here. I mean,
Yeah.
we've really only got one direction we can really go in, but yeah.
I'm wondering, do we have the means of perhaps getting some transportation? We could speed up our journey. I've been studying my spells recently, and, well, I can summon a horse of my own, but I wouldn't want to leave you people behind. What do you think?
You see about passage?
I'm sure we could. Yes, I'm sure we could manage to get some spaces on a cart or something. We should have
Yeah.
enough gold for it. That should be fine.
Well, you never know, there may be somebody willing to aid us. We're on our journey, after all.
This is true. Yes.
Yeah, they could use company or like
But then
bodyguards.
you get a lot if everybody, because everyone needs to go through Sparris, they might be a bit fed up of having all the people on their loot. We'll see. I'm sure it'll be fine either way.
There's no harm in asking. See what they say. But yeah, it would be better not walking all the way back. All the way. Be nice.
Yeah.
Well, now we've got to Sparris, we're a good chunk of the way through the loop, so we just need to keep going in the same direction we were, and then we'll end up back where we started.
See about perhaps talking to the barman. Maybe they know a transportation hub nearby. Places where travelers come and go.
Yeah, coach house.
For sure.
Well, on that note then, and Silik will pop up and head over to the bar and say, "Oh, good morning, barkeep. We were just wondering if there was a local place where we might get some travel, some passage out of the city."
Well, there's the wagon base down on the main roads. If you've your permits to travel, you'll be able to get out and on one of them with no trouble.
I think we have all that in order. Well, thank you very much. Well, we'll make our way down there. Thank
Aye, no bother.
wander back to the table, relay that information, and I guess we'll head out.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Come on, Mal. Let's go.
See, I don't think
That's it, Daisy.
I don't think I can lean on the gnome. But
No.
No. I'm like pulling you by the arm. Ineffectually. I'm just like,
Don't try to lean on me either. I will fall over.
it's
all right,
fine.
you're between me and Silik.
I was gonna say good old sturdy Silic.
Silic
You're
will
just
just
like
stand there and
you're
bend
like
over.
leaning on the back of his shell, just
Yeah.
like holding on.
Just wrap an arm around him and just bob the head as we're going on. Oh, it's great music in that club last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I think Ariana and Jack share a look of just.
It's like, that was music.
That was music.
I mean, that's one description. Yeah.
There's no
I don't
accounting for
think-
taste.
I've heard mine shafts sound better.
Well, I guess you get some good reverb down there.
Exactly.
Okay. So you make your way down to the main road. You see the Widen house clearly from a distance, because it's an absolute hive of activity. There's several wagons out front, all marked in different ways, different colourings, different pennants on them. All with very similar looking, extremely sturdy horses fastened up to the wagons. So they look like they'll be able to get wherever you want to go.
Is there a kiosk or somebody clearly controlling circumstances in any way?
You'll be able to see as you get closer. Exactly where there's somebody actually in charge there. As you get down to the front of the wagon house, a couple of wagons start to move off, heading for the main gate. There's only one wagon left there. It's got interestingly ornate green paintwork. And it's got some red banners just fastened to it in a haphazard way. There's just one figure steps forward as you approach. Like, you're looking for transport?
Yes, if you've seats for the taking, we're on our loop.
Can you see your permit?
Well, yes, of course.
Yep. Dig into pockets.
Giggle.
All four of you have the same permits, yeah?
Yes. Now we're back.
Okay. Hasn't quite hit on my client, but yes, we'll take that as we are back. Apologies for the technical issue, folks. Now, where were we? Oh yes,
Getting the
Yeah.
hell out of Sparrows.
trying to get the hell out of
Away.
Sparris. Freshly being told. Those are no good.
We were handed these by circle representatives.
When you say they're no good, do you mean that they don't count as a pass for leaving Sparrows?
Aye, that's right.
Okay.
There's two different sorts of pass. You can either have a permit that allow you move around inside the city and between the inside portions and the outer city. Or you can have a proper one that lets you do whatever you like. Unfortunately, you don't have one that'll let you leave the city.
Well, thank you for your time.
No problem.
Before we go, do you mind if I ask where would we get one of these upgraded passes that let us go wherever we please?
You'd have been given one by your by your contact in here if you didn't come in with one.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. I guess well that means we're gonna have to go and find the circle representative or somebody.
Oh, yes. Okay.
yeah. Okay. Let's go find one.
Your last wagon out leaves in about an hour. It'll be
Okay.
tomorrow before the next ones leave, so you've time if you need to pick and choose where you go into.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to assume that we have some idea of where to go to find the circle representative.
I would be more concerned about the fact that whoever brought us in here doesn't want us to leave.
Yeah,
Hmm.
don't
Well,
like that.
first we need to find out whether it was deliberate or not. Because if it was a mistake, they just swap over the passes and we're done.
Mm.
I don't know, all the creepy inner circle stuff makes me think there might not be any coincidences here.
Yes, it seems we're
Yeah.
involved in something deeper than we expected.
But we need to find out one way or another, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Looking around, is there any signage, anything to point us in the direction of local circle representatives, that kind of stuff?
There's nothing that would appear to point you towards one. After all, the majority of people in the city are going to be reasonably high ranking in the circle one way or another.
Is it like a travel bureau? Like a particular yeah, like essentially just like or even like the equivalent, I guess. We were at the equivalent of a bus station, so if they can do it there.
Yeah,
Would
I
it not
think
be like a guard
Passes are issued
station?
by the circle.
Yeah,
It's
so
not
would
a
it not
bus
be like a
ticket.
guard
Hmm.
post maybe?
No,
Mm.
we're going to need to go to one of the admin offices for the circle.
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh no.
This isn't a pass we can just buy.
We're gonna have to queue, aren't we?
Oh, I hope not.
Oh no.
It's still relatively early.
Oh, we better go soon then. We better find one soon then.
Yeah.
well, the place you most immediately know how to get to is the big hall that you came out of
Yep.
the previous day, which is where you got your passes.
Do we have to go
Yeah.
back there? We're gonna
Yeah.
have to go back there. Oh,
Yes,
no.
we are. But as we're coming in off the street, we're likely to be meeting normal circle people.
No,
And I doubt we need to go back into the big hall.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
fair.
wasn't
Fancy
much
being that
fun.
and call it questions again.
Let's get
Okay.
on our way then, shall we?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Make your way back inside the inner ring relatively easily. You know the route. You only walked this way yesterday. And although there are people on the gate, they don't appear to even be checking whether people have got permits or not.
I mean, if you've got to there, it doesn't matter because both permits work.
Exactly. So with relatively little effort, you can get back to the bottom of the steps that lead up to the hole that you came out of yesterday. There are a few people around. It's not hugely busy. And at the top of the stairs, there are a couple of quite substantial doorways.
I think we're going to need to ask someone.
Are there any guards or any official-looking people around?
It looks like there's probably some people stood just inside the doorways at the top of the stairs.
Well, let's go ask one of them.
Let's try our luck.
Yeah. So Arya will lead the way up the stairs.
Okay.
And kind of like poke her head in through one of the doorways, check if there's anyone there to ask.
Yep, there are people immediately next to you as you get up to the doorway.
Excuse me.
Yes, can I help you?
Hello. We arrived yesterday. We're on our loop, but we appear to have the wrong permit. Where would we go to talk to someone about that?
The wrong permit. How do you mean?
As far as we knew, we were to leave the city and carry on with our loop. But we've only got within the city permit.
Oh, that is a tad irregular. Do you know who greeted you when you reached the city?
Oh, I don't remember the name.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I couldn't tell you.
Are you able to try and describe them for me? I can try and work out who it was.
We came in with a group that had been traveling from the... This is where I get confused because I've not written down the name of the place. The place with the mines.
Mm-hmm.
We came in with a group that came from this area. And they were the ones that interacted with people.
Okay. And did you say you were part of a loop?
Yes.
It's unusual that loop staff would be brought into missions. Are you? Should I take a name from you, please?
My name is Arya.
Okay. Do you hold on here just a moment for me, and I'll just go and check what's happened here for you.
Thank you very much.
They bustle away into the back end of the hall. You see them speaking to a couple of people who look round a bit confused and possibly a little bit concerned. And then they head further back, leaving the hallway and going up a corridor that leads them out of your sight.
Can Jack look over the desk?
Mm-hmm.
Are there any passes there?
There is a box of passes, but there are other people immediately near you.
Well, it looks like it might be time to cause a distraction.
I'm just gonna nudge Mal.
I had planned on like finding a cold stone step to go and lie down on, but I could absolutely throw up on the most expensive looking thing in sight. Like,
Jack is gonna discreetly find a space to slip into stealth.
That's much easier done if everyone's looking at the sorcerer staggering drunkenly
I'll
around.
wait. I shall wait.
is it even better? I can use thaumaturgy to make my voice 3 times as loud, so the resulting is gonna really carry.
This sounds more like we're all going to get arrested rather than them agree to change our passes.
Only I'll get arrested, and then you just need to, like, bust me out. It'll be fine.
Oh yeah, because being taken in once isn't enough.
Well, they just gave it. We're just swapping the passes. We're just swapping them.
We need to know what's going on and why we were given these ones.
This is true.
Fine.
Plan B. We'll keep that one for later.
Fine.
Yes.
Let's
I'm
remain
sure you'll be able to use it another time.
Okay.
They're just there. They're right there.
Any other bright ideas? Or are you going to wait peacefully?
It's still too early for me to be fighting.
We really can't start a fight in here.
Wow, look green.
Really not.
Okay. You see the person you spoke to bustling back out of the corridor and back across the hall to you. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, wasn't it? So I've spoken to the archcleric, and he says that this is definitely the correct paperwork for you, and he's unclear why there would be any question about whether or not you were expecting to remain in Sperris for the time being.
I see.
He's asked me to extend his apologies for any lack of hospitality that would cause you to look to depart us, and he'll be in touch very soon.
Thank you very much.
No problem at all. They turn
Okay.
away to address the next person.
Gonna hurry out and be like, okay.
Distraction.
There's quite a lot of eyes in there.
And I do wonder about the reaction from that cleric. That if this is the correct paperwork and the providence of it, are they part of the inner circle?
I mean,
One is
we weren't really told either way about whether we had to stay in Sperris. Just that we were free to leave, but apparently not.
They don't want us to leave. It feels.
You think it would help allay suspicion if we found some sort of way to help someone this morning? You know, like carrying out loop activities.
We could try. No harm in it.
Yeah.
Could be a test of some sort. Yes. Well, there's certainly nothing better to do if we're stuck here.
This is true. Just remember the opener said that we had to be really careful. Especially while we're here.
Well, let's go find somebody to help. And then, hopefully, it's just a test to see that we're behaving.
where to start. And looking out from the top of these steps, what can we kind of see, like, out in front of us?
So
So like a help board.
immediately out in front of you, there's just a whole pile of different buildings. They don't really go together. Clearly been put up by people with very different ideas about architecture. And realistically, inside this inner ring, you're not going to find a great many people who aren't immediately on business that needs them to be this close to the inner circle.
So we need to go out a bit further.
Yeah.
Find some regular Joes.
Well, let's pick a direction, I guess.
Jack's just gonna spin in a circle with his arms pointed out.
Tell me when to stop.
Now.
Okay. That way. Oh, wait to see doing that. Ugh.
He just waddles off in that direction.
Yeah, we'll wander in that direction, I suppose.
Okay. So that direction takes you, once you're down the steps, takes you out in a slightly different bit of the city to the one that you came in from. There's a lot of market stalls here. There's a lot of kids, which is unusual. You don't see a great many kids sticking around one way or the other. And it's very loud. It's quite bustly, but it feels a lot less like a city and a lot more just like a town that's really big.
It probably feels a bit more comfortable for us then.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, this feels a bit more familiar.
Not quite so much hustle and bustle.
And a lot of kids.
Strange.
More people, more couples.
I don't think I've ever seen this many kids.
It is a little odd, though, isn't it? You'd expect less in a city.
I mean, maybe there's schools here, or maybe an orphanage or something.
We should ask around.
Hmm.
See what's happening.
As far as I can tell, lots of children means that there's always extra hands needed to do things, so it's worth a shot.
Do we stop one of the kids and ask?
Can do.
Yeah.
How are you going to stop one of the kids?
Just gonna like wave in front of them.
Hello. My name's Jack. Sorry. You're alright.
Hello?
Hello.
What do you
We're
want?
from we're Circle Reps. We're on our loop. And we're just wondering if anybody around here needs any of our help.
I don't know. What sort of help?
Anything really. Do you need help lifting things, building stuff, investigating things, finding things? What else, sorry?
Generally just being helpful if people need it, really.
I don't know. Sounds like an adult thing. That's boring.
It is, but we still need to do it. How come there's so many kids here?
It's for the schools.
Ah.
It's to make sure that we are frowns. Trying to remember that we are fine and upstanding members of the order in due course. Whatever that means.
That sounds...
familiar.
Yes.
You'll get there, one day, young one.
I don't
In
want
the
to.
You'll be
meantime,
like us.
have fun.
You'll be like us one day. Traveling your loop.
Whether that's a good or bad thing.
Looks very
that's
askance
a
at the
good-
visibly unwell Malachthire.
Ignore him. Ignore him. That's self-inflicted.
Consequences of adventuring life.
See, the rest of us are fine. Just don't follow his example.
Which building's your school?
It's not here. It's over there. And points back towards the inner city.
Oh.
Okay. Thank you anyway.
It's okay.
Enjoy your games.
Okay.
We could see if the
Malak.
school wants us to do a career day.
Malachthire,
I mean, it's not like they have a choice of career.
No, exactly.
can
Fair.
you please give me a perception check?
Who?
Malachthire.
Okay.
Oh, got 19 and 23.
Okay. You feel, as the kid turns away from you, a tug on your coin purse, and you're fast enough to catch the wrist of whoever is trying to take it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I will absolutely reach out from my still drunken stupor and grab whatever small wrist has attached itself to my bag.
There's indeed another small child who goes, I was only playing! It's a fun game!
For you, maybe.
And goes against all the teachings that your mother and father have surely instilled in you.
Don't got none.
Also, I'm pretty sure I've only got like 3 gold in my bag. So,
I'm carrying all
Really?
the money.
yeah, like, pick a better target.
I mean, you look ill. You probably are a pretty good target.
Fair. But yeah, let's, we'll
So,
let you off at this once, but
no,
any-
don't let me go yet. So, where do you live, little one?
In with the horses.
The horses?
Where are the stables that you stay in?
And sniffs and points vaguely away from everything you've seen so far, out towards the other end of the city.
I look at the rest of the group in concern, like, no child should be living in stables. What is going on?
Certainly not in the capital of our glorious kingdom. This is ridiculous.
There's certainly plenty housing, but shouldn't there be an orphanage or another family who could take a child in?
Usually they go to family members or like an orphanage, but where's...
But what if it's family members that are making them stay in stables?
That's just cruel.
Well, let's look further into this. Let's start looking around. Where's the nearest adult? We should ask about this child. Surely they're a known quantity around these parts.
Well, he said he didn't live near here.
Why don't we why doesn't he show us where?
yeah.
We take him home. We actually take him home.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Kid, show us where you live. Let's take you home.
But it's daytime.
Yeah, that's fine.
Are you not allowed to be there during the day?
sniffs and wipes his nose on a tatty sleeve. They don't know I'm there.
Oh.
How did you come to be here then? What happened?
I don't know. I was I had big house somewhere nearby, I think. But then one day I woke up and I was not in my house. And I don't know where any of my adults are.
What's your name, little one?
I think it's Emil.
Emil. Are you hungry, Emil?
Yes, please.
I've got some
Okay.
sandwiches. I got some sandwiches. Come here.
I'm just gonna like take
So
out
I'm
a
gonna
sandwich or two.
find somewhere for us to sit down. So that we are less intimidating and not hovering
Yeah.
over a child. And give him some food and some water.
As you're feeding this kid, Silik's going to lean in and kind of conspiratorially away from the kid be like, do you think they might have come from the other side? It might be worth having a word with the opener about this.
Definitely possible. I think the first thing is that we need to take care of his immediate needs.
Yeah.
In staying in a stable, he probably needs a good wash and to sleep in an actual bed for a little bit.
Let's take him back to our... Do you want me to take him back?
I think we should wait. Just now. Trying to remember all the things that Kuchi said. I suppose the easiest thing to do would to be ask about, like, what does he know about God? And if he says anything other than Amon, then he's from the other side.
Oh.
Ask if he goes to school. On his side. Does he go to school?
Suppose does he recognize any of these buildings? Just the general local area? Or is it completely foreign? That's it.
Well, we know that some of the buildings are exactly the same on both sides.
True.
So the style of architecture might not. And he's quite little, in fairness.
Might struggle.
I think the name of God might be the best way of finding out. But also, even if he is from the other side, I'm not massively comfortable just opening a rift and putting a child through.
No.
Yeah.
Like, I would kind of feel that we need to go through with him.
them.
And frankly, that doesn't sound great.
Yes, jumping out of this cage and into who knows what might not be the best idea. Well,
Hopefully it won't come to that and we can find this child's home.
I say let's talk to the opener and see if they can at least give us a hint on whether or not this kid is from here or not. They can really give us the definitive answer, surely.
Okay. Gonna look around. see if anybody's actually paying attention to us or not.
Nobody's particularly paying attention to you. You're sort of off to the side, out of the way, in the lee of a couple of buildings.
Okay.
If you do anything particularly overt, then people will likely look round because you're not hidden, but you're not doing anything particularly interesting.
Okay. So I'm going to dig through my pack, pull out opener, and kind of just turn so my back is mostly facing most of the people and the child.
To prevent the kid from asking any questions, I'm sure I'll, squat down and do my youth pastor. Like, sit backwards on a chair and be like, so, let's rap about the big man.
Jack's entertaining them with like sleight of hand and like
Okay.
cards.
Look at this. Look at this.
Because he's a pickpocket, so they'll appreciate that.
I think Silic.
Oh, you're going to... No.
I have a little apprentice.
Your hands are perfect for thieving. Great. Sneaky stuff.
Oh no. We're meant to be
have to
helping the
next
child, not
We are.
encouraging
We
a
are.
criminal
We're helping.
career.
We are helping them with their career development. We're helping them establish skills that will provide things for them in the future.
So while this is going on, I will start off by I try to be polite to Opener. It's like, hello Opener, please respond quietly.
Yes.
We have found a lost child. Are you able to tell if he is from this side or from the other side?
Is the child near you?
Yes. And I kind of turn round a bit so the Opener can get a good view of the child with the other 3 party members around them.
This is unexpected.
Why?
The child must be protected.
Does he have a home that we can take him to?
Nowhere on this world.
He said his name is Emil. He should be
has
here.
a complicated heritage, I believe is the phrase that is used in your world.
I see. Okay. Thank you, Opener. I think we might need to keep the child with us for now.
He and you are in great danger here.
Oh boy.
We intend to be out of here before nightfall.
Good
Okay,
luck.
thank you, Opener. And I wrap Opener up, and this time I have him near the top of the pack. And make sure that I have my make sure my weapons aren't like packed away anywhere inaccessible. Go over. Okay. Emil, do you want to show us where you're staying at the moment? Do you have any belongings there that you would like to keep with you?
I only have these. He looks at what he's wearing and the tiny little coin purse on his belt.
What sort of state are his clothes in? Are they in decent condition or are they quite damaged?
He's a bit tatty and he could definitely do with a bath. Probably dressed.
Okay.
But it looks if you had to point the finger at him, you'd probably say he's taking clothes off a washing line in the last week.
Right. Okay. Malixire, are there public baths in Sperris?
Certainly are. I mean, most of the ones I know you definitely wouldn't want to take a kid to. But yeah, I'm sure we can figure something out.
Okay. You know what? Let's go to the nearest inn. And yeah, we'll get a room, get a bath, and ask Emil if he can ask him if he wants help or not. We'll also need to get some clothes so he doesn't stand out quite so much.
Is he about the same size as Jack?
Not a million miles away.
Jack will give him some spare clothes.
Got that covered. I got some we can make do with.
Okay.
That way, he doesn't appear as a kid.
Yeah.
He's just another dwarf. He's just another
He could be a young dwarf
Gnome.
or a gnome.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay, right. We go to the nearest inn we can find. He might also want some hot food, in fairness. Yeah.
Probably munching one of Jack's sandwiches as we walk.
On the plus side, this means we can also get a good meal in us and pack up any more leftovers. Because I've got a horrible feeling that we're going to be basically doing a jailbreak from the city.
I think we are going to be
Seems so.
sneaking out.
Yep.
Or punching a guard.
That worked
Yeah,
well
no.
last time.
There's always Plan B.
There is always Plan B.
But I just don't know if we'd make it away without them immediately knowing what's
Yeah,
going on.
it's the inner
Yeah.
circle of the
Yeah.
city as well.
Yeah.
The real authority
difficult.
for the whole place is this.
Yep. Probably not the best idea to mess around in the middle of it.
I mean, it might be okay, but if it's not, it could get bad real quick.
Yeah.
Shit, could hit the fat high cat. She's been
Okay.
very demanding.
I'm hoping it doesn't take us very long to find an inn.
No, it doesn't take a great deal of effort to find an inn. Sperris is somewhere where there's a whole bunch of people who are resident, and there are a whole bunch of people constantly moving in and out. So inns are plentiful.
Go in, pay for a room with a bath, and some more food.
It's all fine. It's not horrendously busy downstairs, or would you like your food upstairs with you?
Probably a good idea to be out in the open.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, really, it's up to Emil. He's the one that's going to be using the bath, and I assume it's like only 1 or 2 rooms that we have.
Yeah, what's this kid's demeanor been like in the time that we've been spending time? Are they quiet? Are they nervous? Like, what's going on there?
He's very, very firmly quiet. He doesn't really seem to have a great deal of idea of what happens next. But you kind of get the impression that that was true before you encountered him.
Makes sense.
Jack's kind of sticking close to them, and just like try to like do little like tricks with his hands and stuff, and like play with knives and like make it disappear and then reappear in the other hand, kind of thing.
Okay.
What age is Emil? Roughly.
It's difficult to judge. You probably would guess that he's maybe 5 or 6.
Okay.
He appears to be human. But you're aware that the formal schooling starts about 6 or 7, so you'd have to sort of assume that if he suddenly disappeared from a school setting,
Yeah.
that would be noticed.
Okay. Okay, Emil, we'll have some nice clean clothes for you, but you have to take a bath. Okay?
Okay.
Are you okay to take a bath by yourself, or do you need someone to help?
As long as I don't fall in headfirst.
I'll go with them. I'll go with them.
Thank you, Jack.
Come on, buddy.
And Arya's just kind of like, how are we going to look after a child?
How are we going to explain him if people ask questions? Are we just going to say that he's a little slow? What? That he's just behind in the education? What?
I mean, I think
We could kind of tell the truth and simply say that we're trying to get this kid back to its father. Or
Oh, this is very
parent.
true. This is very true. This is very true, actually.
I mean, we might get outside and find that he recognizes somewhere and we just take him home.
This is very true.
I doubt it, but it could happen. Fine, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Bath first. Come on,
If I-
kid.
Out of character, have you relayed what Opener has said to the rest of the group? In terms of like the danger here? Because I feel like we're all kind of like, oh, it's all good times. We'll sort
Yeah.
this out.
I will probably be more explicit now that there isn't a child to terrify within earshot.
While Jack is entertaining and making sure the child is clean.
So, Opener said the child is in as much danger as we are,
Mhm.
Oh, good.
that he should not be here, but wouldn't say whether that meant on this side or from somewhere else entirely. And that he has a complicated heritage.
Very cryptic. And disconcerting.
I'm not sure that he's from this side or the other side. If Opener's not prepared to tell us who or what he is, then, well, there's not many other places that a child could be from.
Begs a lot of questions.
Yes, it does.
So, because I was slightly late to the party, we always say the other side. Are we sure there's only 2 sides?
There's only 2 that we've ever come across.
It's a fair point, though. A very fair point. Although,
I've never even suggested that there might be another one. Although, people from the other side of the veil do seem to have different gods.
Mm.
Which suggests that if the Amond is both here and somewhere else, but not on the other side of the veil. I'm wondering if the other place where the gods are and might be where the child is from. It's the only thing I can think of that means the child would be in massive amounts of danger.
that would implicate us in some very important ongoings. I mean,
I think we are already, don't you?
it's true, but this is an escalation. You're potentially hypothesizing that this child is from the realm of the gods.
I could be
in and of
completely
itself,
wrong.
that would beg questions of if they are a god.
Yeah.
And given Armand is the one and only, and you can see that there's trepidation and a kind of like the usual anxiety of faith crisis is striking Silic in this moment, I think. I don't know.
I
was going to say, Malixire puts a hand on Silic's shoulder and is like, look, it's fine. If Armand is the god of here and there are other places, then sure, there may be other gods, but Armand is still the god of here. You know, that's nothing to sneeze at. That's still a lot.
True, but again, it makes me wonder about the circle itself and its purpose. If everyone here is ignorant of this, then
the circle can never hear about this. If this theory is right, then the circle would already know about this. We can't be the only ones to have seen, like, the giant white fish that came through from the other side. Or, well, even at the start of our loop, there was multiple turnip farms losing their entire crop because it could only be harvested from one side. Like, there's been lots of little things, and the circle does know pretty much everything that happens.
yes. I do wonder why they've been so reluctant to give us information on what's happening right now, though. And now this. We said that there could be some kind of test, but this is beyond my conception, really.
Yeah. Even if all of this is just a crazy idea and none of it is true, even the fact that we have found some strange goings on in our loop, the fact that we are trying to look after this child could make the child a target. But either way, I think we need to get out of Sparris.
Yeah.
Agreed. Well,
it feels a lot more urgent now than it did this morning.
I hate to say it, but we did see all those badges back at the hall.
Yeah. But if we'd got them then we might not have met the child.
This is true.
Yeah.
It may be our only option now, though. At least
Yeah.
our quickest option.
I mean,
Be.
the kid said he stays at stables. What's the chances there's a couple of horses or even a little wagon that we could use to try and sneak out?
I mean, well, we can't do that. Because anywhere that's big enough for us to get a wagon through is going to have guards.
Undoubtedly.
Going over the walls, or equivalent, might do away with the need for having the correct path.
Is there a sewer system?
I've been in a few sewers myself, and I feel, in fairness, I tend to feel at home in them.
Start using all new kinds of weapons. Oh. If the sewers are our only option, I would do it.
How do you think I feel? I'm still hungover. Like, this is gonna
You
go.
did that to yourself.
Well, I suppose you can let it all out down there at least.
Whilst Malixai, you're aware from your previous experience that there is some kind of sewage system in the city, you're not aware of any details about it.
So, ideally, we would want some kind of map. We could do a bit of a, we're here seems like we're here on our loop, we're here to study the city, and we want to see a bit of the public works and see if we can find anything there. I'm sure there's a Rattles Guild of some description that we can go and find. I'm sure there's a guy down there who knows his way around.
Surely.
Mal, did you make any particular friends with some of the dwarves? Either last night or in your previous visit?
Oh, certainly, yes.
If anyone's going to know about underground tunnels.
That's worth a shot.
It might be worth asking. But yeah, either way, I really think we need to get out of here.
Yeah.
While Opener probably has some agenda, but it's not steered us wrong yet. And it does seem to be warning us for our own safety.
Then we could split up and reconvene. I'll go and speak to the dwarves. Silik can go and ask around about the public works. Arya and Jack, if you get any particular ideas you would like to follow.
Well, Jack's still looking after the kid.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll need to fill Jack in on all of this. So it might be best to meet back here. I can go out and see if we need to get any more supplies or anything.
Like a good plan. Well, let's get to it and reconvene as soon as possible.
Arya starts packing up all of the food that has not been eaten to take it up to the room. I'm sure the child will be very hungry.
And so will Jack.
Yep.
You're on mute, Jack.
I did not realize. I was like, all the food.
Okay. So, deal with the easy ones first, because we know what they're doing. Malachsire, go and shake up your contacts in the dwarven community.
See if anyone knows anything about underground tunnels, passages.
Yep.
I'm sure there might even be a couple of them who work in the sewers. See if there's any, just casually asking questions about any possible routes that might take us out of the city.
It costs you everything that Emil tried to take from you in buying people pints so that they talk.
Is it all 3 gold pieces?
3 whole gold pieces. But
That's fine.
one of your contacts does start to talk about the fact that the sewer system and the communal heating are a piece of technological wizardry. And it's amazing because all of the heat comes from these underground vents. And don't you know, it's just as easy to dispose of sewage down underground vents as it is anywhere else.
That'll certainly keep them warm, I guess.
You don't want to be too close to it when it's burning.
No. So just gonna say, so these underground vents, where do they feed into?
It's a big shaft directly under Founder's Hall. I heard some of the more academically minded engineers call it some sort of geothermal device, but it's a big hole and hot comes out and crap goes in, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Right. So it's a big hole. That's something. I assume it has to lead. Does it connect into any of the streams or rivers or?
No, it goes straight down. If it doesn't go straight down, you can't get the hot out of it.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair.
If you want to get at the streams and rivers, you have to go out through the freshwater supply, not the sewage supply, and you can't do that.
Why not?
Because, dear boy, have you seen what's on the other side of these walls? You didn't want that crawling out of your tap.
I was gonna say I literally point at the circle insignia robes that I'm wearing. Like, I've been on my loop. I've seen my way around outside of these walls.
There's proper grating on the on all of the inlets because you can have the local fish population come in, to say nothing of the larger beasties in these rivers.
Yeah, that's fair.
You imagine the health hazard if a fish got through there and got jammed in the pipe on your way to your tap. All you got out of your tap was dead fish water.
That's fair.
People wouldn't stand for it, so
no, I don't
the way
think
it is. But cheers for the pint anyway.
You're very welcome. So a big hole that goes nowhere. All of the exits are grated off.
Silic, you're on the hunt for something that could be loosely described as some sort of Department of Public Works. You asked around a little bit. Who does the maintenance on this? Who looks after this? And the answer uniformly is, well, we do. All initiates are responsible for maintaining the city.
But on that basis, then, who arranges the work in the first place? There's got to be. Is it just passed off from one group to another?
Sometimes you see what needs doing, sometimes you get told. The inner circle are not shy about making their desires known from time to time. But that is their right. They keep us safe and fed, and that is all we can ask for.
Yes, I know this well enough. We've faced a great many tasks already, and well, I'll say no more. But, well, thank you for your time. Is there anything you could point me towards infrastructure-wise, in terms of vents or anything nearby, just that I could have a look at?
Well, there's the well just out front.
Oh,
Probably as good as thin as any if you're just interested in the way it's all put together.
oh, certainly. Point me in that direction, and yes, I'll have a good look, and maybe there'll be some maintenance me and my crew can perform.
Surely. Literally point you straight back out into the courtyard you just came in from before speaking to them.
Okay. Right, well, I'll just go back out here then. Thank you. And he wanders back out into the courtyard and goes over to the well and peers in. How big are we talking into that, like, circumference-wise?
It's not a very big well. What you've been able to establish is that there's a mixture of internal water supply and small wells. All of it's drawn from a freshwater feed, so it doesn't have to be a very big well because it's literally just bringing up water that's passing there. It's not having to get down to pull it from the rock.
Silek kind of scratches his chin, looking down at the water at the bottom of this well, thinking, well, like, I could probably swim down there, and I don't know if everybody else will be able to make it through this entire system. Guess I'll have to see what Malaksa has found. Well, let's head back.
Yeah. It's probably reasonable to believe that you'd be able to swim around in the freshwater system, but you wouldn't fit down the well. It's literally only got the purpose of being able to put a bucket up and down it.
Okay. Well, wander back to the inn then from there.
Yeah. And Aria, you come up with anything that you wanted to pursue?
Not massively. I'm just making sure that we have all the possible supplies we might need and things like that. Well, it's difficult to plan exactly. Just sitting thinking of all the different ways I've ever heard in stories of people trying to escape somewhere that's essentially locked down.
Okay.
And I went up to the room and filled Jack in on everything that I know so far.
You're on mute.
Just gonna bath the kid, and shampooing his head. Okay. You don't hear nothing.
Right, okay. Well, hopefully Mal or Silic have found an easy way for us to get out, but I've got a horrible feeling it's going to be distracting a guard from their post and then running through, or I don't want to have to climb over walls in the middle of the night and carry a child up them, but if we need to...
It's not gonna be easy.
No. I don't think anything's going to be easy, though.
I think we should just probably find the quietest guard post we can out and just create a distraction and leg it through.
Ideally, the guard shouldn't notice that anyone's gone through.
Yeah. Yeah, and we just be as sneaky as we can.
I mean, between us, we should have enough things to do that.
You think? You think so? I
Aye,
could carry the kid, and
you're
the
very good
sneaky-
at being sneaky.
I am the sneakiest one, and I can find the shadows pretty well. So I
Mhm.
could take the kid that
Oh.
way.
Oh, wait.
Oh, she got a rifle.
I can do this. This was a new thing. Let me look. Give me a minute. And then rushes over and then digs through her pack to try and find the thing she's looking for.
Meanwhile, Jack's just getting them all dressed and like, you want some more sandwiches?
The answer to that question is invariably yes.
Okay, it's literally just feeding this child.
Bottomless
All
the
pit of a
things.
child.
As far as I can tell, children of all ages need to eat
Bottomless pits.
constantly.
Bottomless pits.
Look, Jack, look.
What?
I think I should be able to do this. It's called Pass Without Trace. A veil of shadows and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions.
Ooh, that's a fun trick.
I think that might be our best bet. Well, no, we'll see what the other options are. But if we have to sneak past a guard, I think
got it
that's the
covered.
time to do it. Yeah.
Sweet. We got a plan D now? C? D? Not sure which one we're on now.
C, D. This might be E, depending on what the others have found.
Well,
We have
I was
a
going to say,
multitude of plans.
in that case, as you're sort of like, oh, we'll see what the others have found, Malixire walks back into the room. Cover that Wayne's ears. We're fucked.
Ow! Ow!
It's a bit young for that language.
That's why you covered these ears.
I
So,
shouldn't have to!
So, yeah, the sewer system leads to a great big hole that goes straight down under the city.
Oh.
The freshwater inn is all gated and fenced. Like, yeah, we don't really have a lot of options.
Well, there's plan D.
Yep. So plan B is scratched out.
At this point, Silic will come through the door and kind of already be shrugging, like, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't really find much. The wells around here are very narrow. There's no way we're getting down those.
Well, there goes plan E.
Yep.
This is plan F now.
That's it.
So I have a spell that I think should work.
Oh.
I've not practiced it, but it should work. Essentially it means that we should be sneaky and it wouldn't leave behind any trace of like footprints or anything like that. So it sounds like we're going to need to get past a guard somehow. But if we can distract a guard away from their post, then we might be able to get out without anybody knowing that we're gone. Although, now I think about it, can I do an Arcana check on the passes, please?
You've done that before. There's nothing interesting
Yeah,
about
we-
them.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just thinking, I was just really suspicious in case there was any like tracking stuff on it. No, I'm being paranoid. I'm sure it's fine.
No, but magical means would include somebody else using a spell to track you.
Hmm.
To finish your line of thought.
It's just whether they could use the pass as a way to do so.
Not due to any innate property of the pass that makes it magical.
Okay.
Can I cast Detect Magic to see if any of us are currently being affected by?
Sure.
Okey doke.
So it's a good thing you're sturdy, because although there's not a great deal interesting about the four of yous, other than opener, which is a known quantity at this point. Emil glows in response to detect magic.
Oh.
To a very significant degree.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Emil, are you okay?
What?
I'll dispel that
feeling?
immediately. Just turn it off.
Hmm.
I don't want to startle this child too badly. That was probably bad enough. Well, this kid has clearly got something going on. I feel like we should do some more divination here and see if we can figure out anything else. Can I use Detect Evil and Good to get a gauge on this kid?
Certainly. Detect Evil and Good reveals that the child is good.
Oh,
That's something.
good news, everyone.
Yes.
Certainly in as much as any child is good, per se.
The child is not a personification of evil, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fine.
We are
Yeah.
not Satan incarnate.
Well, Emil, I'm sorry to have done that to you there. I was just wondering about magical things in the area. What do you know about magic, young one?
What?
Magic. You know, spells and whatnot.
I like it when Jack pulls a rabbit from her hat.
Oh,
Was it a rabbit? It was a rat.
I'm gonna kind of lean in and like, see, I don't have prestidigitation. I do have thaumaturgy. Yeah, I might be like, well, we mean magic, like, and see if I can spark a light out of my finger, or like some kind of small magical thing.
Okay, what small magical thing would you like to do?
What does thaumaturgy do?
Anything you like.
Yeah. In that case, I will just create like a small flame in the palm of my hand.
Okay. Emil looks quite startled and splashes water at you frantically to try and douse the flame. Your hand is burning.
Yeah, you don't have a clue.
Okay.
well, suppose it's we're wasting our time to some extent talking to this child about their knowledge of magic. It almost feels foolish to be doing it. Well, let's get him dressed and ready for whatever we're going to try here. We should probably scope out whatever outpost or sorry, whatever gate post we're going to get through. Figure out if there's maybe a time when the guards change, something to make it a little bit even more inconspicuous.
Shall we go wander around the perimeter?
Yep.
Sounds like a good idea.
Why don't you guys go one way and we'll go the other way, and then we can get
Meet in
an
the middle.
idea. Yeah.
How big is the city? How big of a proposition are we putting forward here that we're going to go the entire way around the city?
Yeah.
If you're going to meet on the opposite side of the city, it's probably going to be a couple of hours.
What are the walls like? Or what is the boundary like on the outside of the outskirts? Really
It's
clumsy.
from what you've seen, it's a combination of masonry and wood. It sort of feels like there's probably a geographical basis for which bits are which.
Mm-hmm.
But exactly what that is, not you haven't gone and gone poked at it to find out in detail. There are points where you could climb the wall, given time and seclusion. But there aren't very many of them, and you're not sure what the very top of the wall is like.
Okay. I'm assuming, like most walled cities, there will be large gates and small gates in
Yep.
and out of the city.
Yeah, so you saw the big main gates where the wagons came through, and you've seen as you've moved around the city so far, you've seen a couple of smaller gates. They're not tiny gates. You could probably get 3 or 4 people in side by side, but they're not the biggest gates in the world.
Another gate's normally closed.
You haven't seen the gates closed, but you haven't seen any of the gateways in the darkness.
So really, we'd probably want to go before dark. They'd probably close them.
Well, I mean, we do have someone who can use lockpick,
This is very true.
but I'm just thinking. So ideally, we should be looking for one of the smaller gates that isn't right next to a big gate.
Mm-hmm.
If we're looking for a distraction, we could look for one with the stables, which will have plenty of hay that will go up pretty quick, and will cause a fairly big distraction, enough to get the guard away from their post.
Yep.
True. Really, we just need to get them distracted for a couple of moved away for a couple of minutes.
Yep.
But I'm more thinking of something that won't require any of us to stay behind.
Yeah.
So we can set a fire and then hide, and as the fire catches and they get distracted, we can then sneak out past them. Ideally.
We have long range weapons and magic.
Yeah,
We
but
don't need to do something as risky as fire.
that's true.
Besides, I would feel awfully bad for the horses.
We'll let them out first.
That would be enough of a distraction by itself.
Yeah, actually.
Okay,
Broken cart.
we shall go looking for
The ideal
yeah.
gate.
The ideal gate to escape from.
Okay. Are you taking your meal with you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want me to bundle him up and then have him on my shoulder, have him on my back, like a little sack?
He is the size of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is the size of me.
Two gnomes in
probably
a
not
trench
me.
coat.
Yeah, like
He
Maybe
has
he
just-
can-
heat. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
He
can
can walk
go-
for now.
can
Silic
walk
can
for
pick
now.
him up if he needs to.
yeah. You see, he can go on my shoulders. I've got horns to hold on to.
Either or.
It'll be fine.
Okay. So you take a wander around. There's a whole raft of possible gates. There's probably 3 or 4 that are reasonably obvious options because they've got relatively wide gateways and there are things near them that you should potentially use to create a distraction. The nearest one, when you get around to the other side and compare notes, the nearest one from where you currently are is probably just a little bit to the south of you, and it has a big chicken coop next to it.
Oh.
It's just on the edge of the market.
Chicken feed. Door open. Lots of chickens.
Well, chicken coops usually have hay in them. Although anything that scared the birds would probably cause a big enough distraction. If it's too big a distraction, we might get people looking out of windows and they might see us.
How long does that spell of yours last?
Up to an hour.
Well, that's ample time for us to make our way through. I think we may even be overthinking this. Really, we just need to look at an opportunity to get through the gate while it's open, pass on by, and in an hour's time we'll be far, far away.
True, it could all be fine.
Let's take it one step at a time.
I think
How
we
we
should
do-
wait for it to get a little bit dark.
Well,
Well, we should find somewhere secluded for you to cast the spell, I suppose. Somewhere out of sight where we can start our journey and make our way from there.
So,
Let's do
what
it.
sort of time is it? Is it starting to?
it's already the back end of the afternoon because you've done quite a lot today.
Yep.
So you probably have half an hour, maybe an hour before it starts to get shadowy enough that you're likely to be concealed.
I'm going to suggest that we sit down and rest our feet and eat some more sandwiches.
Sandwiches are the real MVP.
It's also less that we need to carry while we're trying to be super sneaky.
Oh.
And I've already and my Jack's already prepared them as well.
Ready to go.
We
Okay.
can probably just time travel forward.
We don't need we don't need to twiddle our thumbs for a literal hour. That's fine. So it starts to get dark. You can see a certain amount of movement out towards the market gate that you were looking at, as people start to try and finish up for the day. So, what do you want to do?
I want to wait until there isn't anyone else passing through the gate anymore.
Okay.
At that point, is the gate open or closed?
The gate is open still, but the guards look like they are getting ready to shut up for the night.
Okay. This is our chance then.
Huh?
Okay, so I shall attempt to cast Pass Without Trace.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep,
each
that's
of
fine.
us. That's fine.
I assume including a meal.
Yes. Okay, so if we need stealth checks, we each have a +10 bonus on top of whatever your normal stealth bonus is.
Yeah, I was gonna say in that case, once we're prepared, I'll get ready to, because I think I can use thaumaturgy to open doors, so I can literally just unclick the coop, and then we just need to figure out how to get the chickens out.
Just put something scary in there.
I can't do illusions. I can make a. I'm pretty sure I can make a convincing fox growl with thaumaturgy.
Ooh,
Ooh.
that would probably work.
Sounds like a good idea. Let's hear
Yeah.
it.
Oh no, because the second I was like, "What noise does a fox make?" I immediately flashed back to sitting at 4 a.m, trying to get to sleep, and all I can hear is 2 foxes fucking in my garden. So
That was either going to take us to fox fucking or getting a DMCA strike. So either way.
I thought you were going to go into the song.
no.
Left turn towards Fox fucking.
Yeah, in that case, I'll go for just a generic growl.
Okay. It's more than
But-
sufficient to spook a bunch of chickens who aren't used to having the door of the coop open. They burst out of the doorway, squawking, pecking, flailing, and start making a run into the street. You can see the guards look up in surprise. What are you gonna do?
So that
That was
wasn't
the
enough to
plan.
make the guards move.
They didn't move, but they're paying attention to the chickens.
I would say that might be enough of a thing to try and sneak us all through. Unless you want to go the fire route. There's no chickens in there now.
I mean, I'm thinking fire might be our best shot since they haven't
Yeah.
actually moved.
Yeah, threat.
Damn, I was really hoping that they would move from that.
At least the coop's empty.
Yeah. Yep, someone set it on fire.
Yeah, I can pop a firebolt. Although I don't know whether that's going to cause too much noise.
I mean, I think we need it.
Okay, then I'll try as quietly as possible to whisper out the incantation and flick a little ball of fire into the coop.
Okay. Well, nobody looked up at the sound of your casting, but everybody looks up at sudden flames erupting from the coop behind the panicked chickens. The guards do start to move away from the gate. Not too far away from the gate. They're clearly still keeping an eye on it in case there are any more people, but there is certainly enough space that you'd be able to get by them now, as long as they don't notice you.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
Let's go for it. Just before we start moving, I will remind Emil that he needs to not say anything at all. He needs to be completely quiet.
He just nods.
Okay. So I guess we're gonna have a line of us sneaking out the gate behind
Edging
the
out.
guards' backs.
Yep. So what order are you moving in?
Biggest
Jack
first?
first.
Okay, me first.
Oh, yeah, I'd have went for smallest and stealthiest first. leading
Okay.
the way.
Jack and
Okay.
Emil first.
Mhm.
I should probably be somewhere in the middle. Just to make sure that the spell keeps covering all of us. And it should be fine.
I'll take up the end just in case I need to throw any more fire.
Okay.
Cool. And I guess that puts me one before the end.
Okay. Jack, can you do a stealth check for the party, please?
And that's a +10.
Yeah.
So that is a 25.
That will do. The distraction is enough that you're able to move quietly between the guards without them noticing you passing by. And you get to the other side of the gate.
Keep going.
I was going to say we're not stopping.
No, we're not.
No, keep
Like-
going.
I'm just having a little sigh of relief.
We're not quite going to start running yet, but
Nope. We're just
mhm.
We can
briskly
walk- we can
shuffling along.
safely- We can safely walk relatively quickly. We won't have any footprints or anything left behind for the next, 45 minutes.
So the road in front of you as you come through the gate is relatively wide. You could probably get a small wagon up and down it. And relatively well made. On either side of it, an absolute riot of jungle plants are just everywhere you can see.
Is the road straight?
It's not completely straight. You'll need to walk for about 5 minutes before you can get around enough of a bend to be out of sight.
Okay, well, we need to hurry to get around that curve then.
That power walking.
It's fine. So you round a little bit of a bend, and looking back, you can no longer see the city wall.
Okay, well, that's a good start.
Now it's getting dark, and all there is around you is jungle.
That's alright. I am a
We're
ranger
okay.
after all.
Yeah.
We're capable.
I mean, we're mostly capable at keeping away from away from danger rather than dealing with it.
Yep.
Largely capable of running away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, it keeps us alive. That's the important bit.
Okay. Are you going to walk through the night, or are you going to try and find somewhere to camp in all of this plant mess?
Probably wise to just continue walking, really.
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
to keep going.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
can
Put as much distance between us and the city as much as possible.
once there's a little bit of light and pre-dawn, then we can find somewhere to stop. I expect we'll be having to carry Emil by that point,
Yeah.
taking turns to carry the small child.
Okay. And you want to find somewhere to stop? What are you looking for?
Could I apply survival skills to making a makeshift bivouac kind of thing, or something?
Yes,
If
you
we're
can.
needed to bed down at some point.
You can throw something together as long as you can find the bits you need for it.
Okay.
The problem's as much whether you're going to be safe in
Yeah.
that setting.
Hmm. Unfortunately, it is not my favoured terrain type. Though I suppose it's not. It's probably the closest to it. Jungle instead of forest.
They're almost exactly the same, except for all of the deadly things trying to eat you in a jungle.
Yeah, but most of them are beasts, and they are my favoured enemy. So
Yeah.
It's true.
I'm sure we can find some way to
Yeah.
safely at least have some of us curl up and sleep.
Could always put climb a tree as well.
Mm.
I don't know. There's a lot of things live up in trees and
Very
jungles.
true.
Yeah.
Very true. Snack.
Well, I guess it's the good old guard rotation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Huzzah.
Lucky us.
The advantage of it being light before you take your rest is that you'll be able to try and keep things away from the people who are sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Shall we-
are you just going to park up on the very edge of the road, or are you going to try and get a little bit further in so that you're concealed from the roadway?
We need to be concealed.
Yeah.
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 Okay, that's fine. Between you, you can you can get effectively a hop and a jump into the jungle before you start having to move things out of your way, so that it doesn't look immediately disturbed from the roadside. And then you can put together just about enough stuff that you'll be able to not be directly on the ground for those of you who are sleeping, as Philip suggested. So that should be okay. Who is going to take the first watch?
I will.
Okay.
See, I'm still hungover at this point, so I'm going to try and sleep it off.
Yeah.
You want to be last then?
Vicious hangover.
Yep.
Do you want to have it to be last then?
Yeah.
Jack will take second.
And I'll take third.
Okay. Well, as you finally get to curl up for a couple of hours of badly needed sleep, Arya standing guard over you. That is where we'll leave it for this evening.
I feel like we're fugitives on the run now.
We are.
We
Well-
are.
We are.
Like,
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
With
Yeah.
a mysterious magical child at that.
mm.
Very
Yeah.
curious.
Why does the child glow? Why does the child glow?
There's a lot of
Child
options,
is
and none
clearly-
of them are good.
No.
Very deeply magical.
Mm.
Um,
But doesn't know what magic is.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a being. of
well, if
magic.
he's
He is
never used
4.
magic,
He's like 5 or 6, isn't he? As well?
yeah,
so-
he's really little.
Yeah,
Like,
but like, you know, presumably if someone was that magical, either they would have done it themselves or seen someone who could. Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Or he doesn't remember.
That's true.
Or it may be a property of crossing crossing from the other side.
It could be. It's very difficult to know. Difficult to predict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, we shall see.
Yeah.
Yes.
we Okay,
Okay.
I think that covers pretty much all of our immediate rambles. Um, thank you for joining us tonight. We will be back playing Varlastan hopefully in 2 weeks' time. Next Monday evening there may be a stream, it depends on people's work schedules and things. You will find various members of Penance RPG streaming on this channel most evenings UK time, some overnight because people have insomnia. You can follow us on pretty much all social media as Penance RPG. On Mastodon, we are Penance RPG at dice.camp. If you search for us basically as Penance RPG, you're probably going to find us. So our DM tonight was Lunrwolf, who also, make sure I'm on the right tab to do this, who also streams at various points during the week. Nightbot has kindly done a shout out for Lunrwolf, and Eden also streams. Kind of stream totally different stuff from each other, really.
Yeah, completely.
Yep.
But you know, go check them out because they're a lot of fun. We are very lucky to be sponsored by 2 fantastic TTRPG companies. The first is D&Dice UK, who have an amazing range of dice accessories, dice trays. They have sets of dice that most of us have been drilling over for like the last 4 years at this point. And if you use code Penance RPG at dndice.co.uk, you get 10% off of your order. And it is free shipping if you're within the UK. For those who are not UK based, we also are sponsored by the wonderful Gemhammer and Sons Gaming. I'll post the referral link, although Twitch will mangle it. But also if you use code Penance RPG at checkout, then you should get the 20% discount from them. They do third-party D&D 5e content. They have a grimoire, they have some of the decks of many things that we've used in various different episodes of the podcast mostly. Every Sunday we have a TTRPG called Darktide running in the afternoon UK time, which also stars Amy and Eden. And that is a reimagining of how dragons
interpretation.
very differently. So that is quite entertaining, I have to say. New podcast episodes come out on Sundays. Darktide streams on Sundays, Varlastan every second Monday. And we shall see you again soon. Till next time, all.